Hello, and welcome to the Terrain Kickers podcast. My name is Daniel. As you can see, I am not in my normal location of recording, which would normally be the basement. And that is only because I'm still kind of stuck in location due to the surgery. But I just still want to bring you some content. Mostly, I know you guys have been pining for Liber Imperialis. I wanted to show you my painted miniatures. But also, I ordered some tokens, which I thought would be really cool to kind of show you. I might even do a giveaway for one of them. I'll talk to Dave. And if you get through this video, at the end of the video, I'll say whether or not I'll do the giveaway or not. Mostly because I might give one of these tokens away. Not because they're not great, but because I bought two and I'd rather keep one of them. Other than that, yeah, just on to the show, I guess. All right. So here is my super professional viewing desk, I should say. So I thought first we could just look at some of the Liber Imperialis models, review them a little bit, how they came out, how they were to build, how they were to paint. And honestly, I could talk about my paint scheme as well. So first, let's take a look at some of these vehicles. So these are essentially the vehicles of Imperialis, and there's a ton of them. You do need a lot to play. This isn't a Titan heavy game. This is a vehicle / infantry game. Let's start with the biggest and the coolest one of all, I dare say, the Thunderhawk. So the Thunderhawk, first of all, if you find one, good luck. These things are damn near impossible to find. And I mean, honestly, good luck. But to put together, actually pretty easy. Pretty great to put together. Very easy. You'll notice that each one of these, as I turn them over, they'll be magnetized. So you'll see magnets there, there, and there. The only reason I magnetize them is because I use these metal trays to essentially stop them from moving around. So I could slide them into a holder, essentially, a carrying case. In fact, the carrying case I didn't review yet, but I do want to talk about it. I'm not sponsored by them. And nothing here I'm sponsored by the way. Any products I talk here are not sponsored whatsoever. So it's right here. It's called Jukoki, Jucoci. You can find them on Amazon real easily. $130 gets you a tray with 5 of these metal trays and a plastic thing you put together. And it's honestly, I think probably the best carrying case out there. And I hate to I don't want to shit on all the other carrying cases, but honestly though, it's $130. It's a very hard plastic case. Comes with these metal trays, and as long as you magnetize your miniatures, they're not moving anywhere. So yeah, Jucoci. I don't get any kickbacks or anything. Honestly, I never do. But if I like to rep brands that I use. I've done this before with Versatile Terrain, which are what I use for my nameplates. If you've ever seen my Instagram, I'll rep them to the day I die. But yeah, no, Jukoki boxes. But anyway, so Thunderhawk, if you could find it, congrats, you've won the lottery. Hell, if you find any of the Space Marine planes. But yeah, easy to put together, fairly simple to paint. So how I did this, the metallic sheen, and this will be true for the rest of the army that I'll show off, is I sprayed black, zenithaled a metallic silver, I think from Tamiya, null oil, so it can get into the nice creases. Not everywhere, obviously, just in the creases. And then this was a GW contrast paint. It was the teal one. It is not coming back to me. It'll come back to me probably later. I swear to God. Oh, Achillean green is what I use. And then, of course, the accents are made with silver and stuff. And I think copper as well on the engines. So yeah, other than that, and then I use the transfers, which were a lot of fun to put out. Let me see if I could get a nice, good picture of it. That's not blurry. This camera's not the best for capturing these small ones. There we go. But you see the hazard stripes right there, hazard stripes there, little Hydra symbol right there. Hydra symbol and the double X right there. So yeah, a lot of fun to put together. Cool transfers. Yeah, again, if you find it, these are really cool. They're also assault vehicles in Liber Imperialis. Assault flying vehicles, which means if you stock it up with assault marines don't need this to hover in order to get out of the vehicle and assault, which is I don't know if you can see my, you can't see my thumbs up, but that is an excellent tactic to use this for. I think it carries 8 bases. You crap out 8 bases of assault marines. That's a scary, scary thought if it's flying in. So let's start with the smallest tanks over here. Start with the baby boys. I don't have to like move it over. So these are the rhinos. Um, so I'll be honest, all the tanks were kind of easy to put together, except for there's one caveat, and it's these stupid things, these exhaust pipes. God in heaven, whoever designed these exhaust pipes, please, Lord, stop. These are separate from the vehicle. So the Rhino chassis was super easy. It was literally, I think, 4 pieces, 5. The bottom, the top, the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I guess like the door. No, it's 4 pieces to put together. And then 5, I guess, for the 2 little mounts on the top. But each one of these exhaust pipes that you will see on all the vehicles. So the Rhinos have 4 exhaust pipes. Sicarans have also 4. Oh my God. Predators have 4. Kratos has 4. Oh my God. All of them have 4. Yeah. All of those were separate additions to the vehicle. So it was absolutely insanity. But again, painted the same beautiful metallic blue for all the Alpha Legion. Except for the exhaust pipe, super easy to build. And again, magnets right on the bottom so that they can go boop right there. Very simple. You can pick them up very easy too. Again, I think there's 2 packs. Yeah, this is 20 rhinos. You don't need 20, but I find that you need around either 9 to 11 per detachment. So you kind of need a box, if not just 2, to just cover your butt, is my best way to put that. Next up on the tank list, let me just kind of shimmy this back a little bit so you can see. There we go. Are my Predators. Now, these are really neat. Same build as the Rhinos, where you have the 4 exhausts pain in the butt. But what I like about these, and what GW did correctly, was that they gave you all the weapon tops. So for example, if you could see this right here, I have 3 Predators with autocannons and heavy bolters, and 3 Predators with las cannons and then las cannons. But if you notice over here in the corner, we have wonderful, wonderful, let me see if this actually helps. Sorry, I'm right by a window, so had to adjust mid recording. But that actually, now you should see a little better. So if you notice up here, we have 3 more autocannon turrets and 3 more las cannon turrets. They give you actually enough to build or swap the turrets out if you want, which is really neat. That's really cool. And I mean, I did magnetize the bottoms of these just so I can put them in the tray. I don't know if you could, yeah, there we go. But what's really cool is you don't actually need to magnetize the tops because they just kind of slide right in very easily. Sicarans, probably my favorite one to build, and Sicarans just look cool, in my opinion. But again, same thing with Sicarans. You'll see 4 Sicaran turrets. You'll notice over here in the corner, 4 Sicaran turrets. These are the plasma versions, which I do like a lot more. I should put them on instead. I just love plasma. Plasma is so damn cool, in my opinion. And I like the orange glow I gave it. But yeah, no, Sicarans, same exact thing. They went to, I think this was, again, 4 parts. You had the front, you had the rear, you had the 2 sides. Oh, no, and the top. On the top. So this one's 5, 6 if you count the turret. This turret is magnetized, so these are actually magnetized. You'll notice right here. But yeah, no, again, very easy to build, very easy to get through. And it's just, honestly, these are really cool tanks. And in the game, very cool tanks as well. Rules-wise, these things are kind of monstrous. They have tons of tiny guns. I don't know if I prefer them with the plasma or the Sicaran accelerator autocannon. But if you give them heavy bolters, or I prefer giving them las cannons, but honestly, even if you give them heavy bolters, these are just great anti-infantry tanks. Remember, you can take point defense guns and shoot them in the movement phase, right? Apart from your other guns. So if you load these up with 3 heavy bolters, that's 3, or is it 4 shots? I can't remember if the whole one gets 2 shots or 1. But it's either 3 or 4 shots hitting on 5s. And if you got a squad of 4 of these, right? That's 12 shots hitting on 5s. That's not bad, especially if you're going against Solar Aux, which then saves on 6s, or even Space Marines save on 5s. So very great workhorse tank. I do love these a lot. These are probably my favorite. I wish I had more of them. I cannot wait for GW to release this Sicaran box. Please. But other than that, these are really great. And then last but not least, let me just slide this over. We have ourselves the biggest, the baddest, the gigantic tank on the block, the Kratos. The Kratos tank, for those who don't know, is one of the newer additions to Horus Heresy. It's the heavy tank. This one does not come with all the turrets, which is kind of annoying. But again, nothing you can do about that. So there's essentially, again, the bodies you build. The exhaust on the back is individualized. Let me see if I can pick that up here. The exhaust on the back is all individualized. Dear God in heaven, kill me. But you do not get enough turrets for the tops. Again, I didn't magnetize the tops. They honestly just really pop off and on. They're very snug. So you get two types of tops. You get this beautiful, beautiful melt-a-lance, essentially, which you would think is great for taking out vehicles, and it is. But this is also just, if someone's hiding in a building, you just shoot it with this. This is your premier, I don't want you ever hiding in a building gun. It's very short range, which is a problem. But, you load the sucker up with, I put heavy bolters with the meltas, right? Just so they can have some point defense. But I did put las cannons on here as well in case I wanted to shoot some tanks. So this is a nice all-rounder tank. And again, it's got tons of guns. You could also outfit it with this. Essentially, it's a battle cannon, essentially, which comes with 2 shells, either anti-tank or anti-infantry. This one I loaded up with 4 las cannons, if you notice. Right, so you have las cannons on the sponsons, las cannons on the hull. I guess this would be considered the hull. And then it's got the little battle cannon on the top. And again, super easy to build these tanks. I'm very surprised and very happy with how these came out. And the metallic coloring is so easy to do with contrast paints. Any of the metallic legions, so Thousand Suns, you could kind of do Ultramarines, Night Lords, and Imperialis is not really metallic. Blood Angels, I feel like I'm missing White Scars, no. How am I missing? Oh, Iron Warriors. Well, Iron Warriors is just silver. That one's easy. But any of the metallic legions, super easy to just contrast paint over these because they're not big. Unless you're I did kind of mess up on the Thunderhawk a little bit because you can kind of see a little bit of the splotchiness, right, that pops up on the hull. But other than that, when you have such small models, it's such a hard, you cannot, if you do it correctly, you really can't splotch them. And they come out, look at that shine. Yeah, it shows up even on camera. It's really, really nice. And these are matte sprayed too. These are matte sprayed. So they're shining after a matte spray, which is exactly what is awesome about this. So yeah, that's the tanks. Let's move on to the infantry. All right. So here are the infantry. Again, you will notice metallic tray. I already talked about in the first part. This is Jukoki, Jucoci. Anyway, all these are magnetized again. Very tiny magnet, but perfect. So let's talk about the building these and these stuff. So I guess we'll start with the painting. Painting these were exactly the same as the tanks, to be quite honest. In fact, I'll flip these around so you can actually see them. Jesus. There we go. Painting these were very, very simple. Very much like the tanks. My recommendation, if you're painting the infantry, is to paint it either on the sprue, or in this case, what I did was I put it on popsicle sticks and painted it from there. Do not paint these individually. You will drive yourself absolutely insane. So yeah, my opinion would just be to literally paint these into, like, put them on popsicle sticks with some, my recommendation is buy some crazy glue with some, I don't know what it's called. I usually just call it quick zip. It's usually a spray that makes crazy glue dry very quickly, but it makes the bonds very weak. And the reason you do that is you just want it there to stay on the popsicle stick. And then when you're done, you just clip it off the popsicle stick because the bond is super, super weak. So it makes it really, really super cool. So I guess we'll start with the TAC Marines, the little tiny TAC Marines. So the TAC Marines are super interesting. Mainstay for Library Imperialis. You need them, obviously. And they're not bad. 5-up save, better than a 6-up. Bolters are interestingly effective because you get 2 shots hitting on 5s at short range. But there's really not much to say about these. Again, very stupid, easy to paint. Also, I know there was a lot of complaints about these, and this is not going to come up in the camera because this camera doesn't focus or zoom. But there was a lot of complaints about how, like, the bottom of these Marines, I don't know if this will show up. Yeah, yeah, you can't even see it. The bottom of these Marines have, like, connection points to the bodies. They're not like if you 3D print and, like, it's nice and clean. These are obviously plastic injection molded, so they cut some corners. But you don't, like, unless you're looking for it, you don't see it. Like, I don't know. Does that show up on the okay, I guess that kind of shows up. If you see this guy right here, you could see underneath his bolter how there's like a little kind of flange connecting to the body. But it's so like guys, you're playing like this. You can't see it. So people can complain all they want, but honestly, it's people just complaining. What's really cool, anyway, is that you get extra bodies. I know that Solar Rocks, you don't get extras, but here you get extras. So technically, you get a bunch of Marines, but you replace some of the bodies with, let's say, sergeants. So you can see the red tops in the center of these squads. You have banner bearers. So you see the banners right on top of here. So you have actually extra bodies that you could put around on bases, or if you keep them and buy some more boxes, it'll even out. So those are your attack Marines. Assault Marines I probably like the most. Let me take these and put these right over here. Assault Marines I definitely like the most. They're just kind of cool. They're jumping around with the little bolt pistols. The captain has a little tiny plasma pistol on him. Again, super easy to paint. You do get extra Assault Marines as well because you get, I think it's 2 replacements. The captain replaces 1 normal Marine, and I think this Power Axe guy gets replaces another one. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 8 extra Marines lying around. I also have 8 extra tactical Marines essentially laying around their popsicle sticks painted. You get support squads in the starter box, which are plasma in this case. Again, super fun to paint. Love this. I love the little orange glow. Terminators, again, and I love, me, I love my 40 mil bases, although it's not 40 mil. Terminators, excellent little choices. These guys deep strike up to 2 inches away from a target, which can be exceptionally scary. Now, you can't assault after deep striking, but the reason that makes them very scary is they get 2 shots at close range with their gun, just like these guys, hitting on a 5-up, but their gun is twin linked, essentially, so they can re-roll their hits. So if you have 4 bases, that's 8 shots hitting on 5s, twin linked, which is 4 hits? On average, 5 hits, which is a good amount, especially if you're hitting Ogrins who have a 6-up save. Excellent way to kind of take down your opponents. These guys. These are your missile launchers. The reason I'm sighing is because again, same thing with the exhaust. They did not attach the arms to the Marine. Now, I'm thinking there was probably some sort of injection mold plastic problem there. But if you notice, each one of them has a missile launcher, right, on the side. There we go. You can see it a little better there. Each one has a missile launcher on the side. That's an individual piece. You actually have to glue that to the Marine body. Now, thankfully, it wasn't a dear God in heaven, this is horrible project, but it still was slightly annoying. But once you glue them together, you put them on the popsicle stick, boom, you paint them. Super easy to do. You also get some dreadnoughts in the starter set. Now I split with Dave, so I have 2 starter sets essentially, or 2 halves, I should say. That's why I have 4 dreadnoughts and 4 dreadnoughts. But essentially, it builds 2 and 2. You get 2 assault cannons, 2 las cannons. I'll talk about the las cannons first. Again, super easy to put together, except for the hand. Again, whoever designed this, please stop. So you see this fist on the dreadnought, the Gravis Power Fist. I mean, probably you know what it is because you've seen it on the 28 mil version. That's like 3 or 2 pieces. Again, don't. If I'm building something this small, I'm pretty sure you could have injection molded that tiny hand with the plastic. But anyway, las cannon, super great for taking out tanks. Gravis Fist, great for taking out infantry. Just overall great. The assault cannon, also cool, looks cool. Rules-wise, not great. I'm actually surprised at this, believe it or not. I think there might have been probably a rules misprint or a rules mistake, only because there's literally no reason to take the assault cannon over the las cannon. I think that the assault cannon was meant to be 2 shots, instead of its single one. Um, and if it was 2 or 3 shots, it's like, now we're talking, because they still hit on 5s, so on and so forth. But if it was 2 shots, now I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You get 2 shots versus the 1 for a last cannon. Um, it's just, I don't know. It's weird that this guy, the assault cannon is so weak compared to the last cannon. That happens sometimes in Library Imperialis. You'll find sometimes where it's like, why would I ever take this? This is some much better upgrade. But usually there's like, example, heavy bolter on vehicles versus las cannons. Las cannons seem like the obvious better choice, but remember, heavy bolters can shoot in the movement phase. So if someone passes your line of sight, you can actually shoot them before they shoot you with heavy bolters, unless it's tanks, then you're screwed. But infantry that are coming into you, you shoot them with heavy bolters. And remember, they hit on 5s, not 6s. I'm not sure. The assault cannon has just such a disparity between it and its last cannon brethren, and I don't know why. And I'm thinking it literally was just supposed to be 2 or 3 shots. These things. That's what I'm honestly thinking. But other than that, cool little kit to put together, except for the fist. And then you have your command squad. Command squads are super cool. There are 5 individual models. I know this is not going to pick up, but I put a little transfer on the guy's cape. You could kind of see it, the white on the cape. That's a little serpent thing. I put transfers on the banner. Right, you can see the double X with the skull and the little wreath. But again, super easy to put together, super fun. Command squads, of course, let you change your whatchamacallit, your order if you're close to them, which is a really neat tactic. But other than that, just to kind of quickly review everything I just did, honestly, really good to put together. Some are slightly expensive. Like if they come in their individual boxes, like I'm hoping drop pods are not going to be that expensive, even though there's only like 4 in a box. I'm hoping it's like 8 in a box. But yeah, no, and they're super easy to paint. Like this is not something you're going to spend unless you want to 16 hours to do, right? So you spray black, zenithal your metallic color, or zenithal your base color, so that way you have like. For those who don't know what zenithal is, all that means is that when you spray black, the zenithal color goes right on the top, almost at an exact like 180-degree angle, like you're spraying down this way. And the reason you do that is it captures all the stuff on the top and leaves everything on the bottom black. Basically, you're providing illusion for the contrast paint to grab into. Non-oil to make some of the recesses darker, and then just whatever contrast paint you want with whatever trim. Again, super stupid easy to paint these things. Painting everything you saw maybe took me 3 days, 4 days at most, and that was just kind of me sitting down for like 2 to 3 hours a pop. But yeah, no. And again, if you get Chikoki like these, oh, there it is. There's the name. Haha. Right there. If you get Chikoki on Amazon that comes with these trays, you just magnetize them and boop. Again, they don't move.